It's 8:30 on, what is today, November the 12th, 2025. I call the redevelopment commission meeting to order. We do have a quorum, all the members are present. Needed a motion to approve the minutes from the September 10th meeting. If you have a chance to review those.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion, we need a second.
Second.
And a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes passed. Financial matters, fund report. This is for our information only. The fund report shows the Southeast District at $1,321,000 and some more. Set in Northwest District, $909,000, a total of $2,231,573.73. Any questions about that? If not, we'll move on to the approval of claims. The approval of claims this month, the Northwest or the Southeast. Southeast claims 54,191.04. The Northwest 161,595.23. And so that's a total of $220,368.10 total claims. Any questions about any of these claims?
The TOL magazine, I guess that's for the year.
How much was How much is it?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
$2,500.
No, it's cool.
Total of $5,000
It's $5,000 a month.
a month.
Yes.
$60,000 total for the year.
Yes. The Board of Works paid it the first 6 months of the contract, and redevelopment is paying it the last 6 months.
Can we, next time, can we make sure that we don't get the front of this cut off? It's hard to
It's hard.
tell it's southeast or northwest.
Yeah, and I don't, Emily, did you print all those? I mean,
Yeah, I didn't.
well, and we're having trouble with that
for-
doing that. I'm sorry, mine's doing it in my office,
Is
cutting
it
it off.
going from legal to letter
They just gotta change the font size or something, reduce it, so we don't. get
Rick's
cut off.
got it. 'cause
It's
you-
always
you
done it
ran
for
off
this.
On yours, didn't you, or something? Was that, did you bring that from home?
It's cut off on those.
Is it cut off?
No,
too?
it's cut off.
this-
Well, this was in this packet.
Anyway, work on
Did
that.
you find
For this commission, it's always been
Well,
that way.
yeah,
I don't know
My
why.
printer's doing it because that's the way mine is in my office too. So I know they've got, Stacy's working on that. To get somebody to help.
All right, any questions? If not, we will just look for a motion to approve claims.
Right, let's see, it's all cut off here, so, okay, kind of.
I make a
You
motion.
don't
to
know what
approve
that's
the
saying there.
Claims for the claims.
All right, we got a motion, we need a second.
You don't know that it's northwest, well, it's
Got a
south,
motion and a
it's
second.
northwest.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And it is approved. Next item is Moonglow Estate disbursement request number 10. I don't see that in here. but am I missing it?
Does that,
Did y'all have that in your?
yeah, it's in the bottom, development capital bond, is that what?
$156,717.69. And I did, can you hand it over there?
Where's that?
Pardon?
Where's that at?
That is the GM development right here. And the reason you're going to see it as different, I went ahead and closed out that bond fund. There was a small remainder there, what, $4,581. So, I brought that by paying that on this disbursement for Moonglow. That brings that to zero. And then the rest was paid out of the Northwest tip. And that is that.
So I'm confused. We've already approved this. Why are we approving it again?
It's just because we have to get the disbursement request. It's total in there, that the amount paid. But we also have to get you to sign this and I get it back to it's a disbursement request.
Okay.
So the minutes, yeah.
We always do a separate action just so the minutes are clear on, and then the authority to
All
sign.
right. Probably should have done that one first, but that's okay. I need a motion to approve the disbursement request number 10, which is found
Is that,
on your claims at $151,135.86.
yeah, where you see that?
Towards the bottom.
The GM Development Capital Bond, is that the
No, it's
220, Jan? Or the,
I said I zeroed that out. We went ahead, we had a small amount left in that. of
Right.
what we had been
that
paying
4581?
GM, yes, so it's a combination of both. And you have approved that in the claims, but this would also be to give Tom the approval to sign this disbursement request as we've done in the past on these payments. The total to this board is $156,717.69.
Okay.
And,
Why is it different than this?
pardon,
That's different than this.
because you total those two together. That's the yeah,
Okay.
I zeroed that account because we paid everything. A lot of it had been paid out of, the intent was to pay the bond for the Moonglow 3. So
Clear as mud.
now it's clear? Okay, and we do have a remainder of $88,387.36 on that project. And it's my understanding, I had heard some talk that will be left for the paving. Wasn't that what we had discussed with the mayor?
There's a piece left for the final surface asphalt, and I believe there's a piece left for some of the wastewater improvements that were yet to be done.
Okay, so there is still to be paid on Moonglow 3.
Okay.
But all of the construction, everything else is
And they're building
complete.
in there.
5 houses are vertical right now.
They pulled 3 more permits last week and they want to pull 2 more before the end of the year for those houses, so they are building fast.
Moving in. All right, we need a motion to approve the disbursement request number 10 for Moonglow Estate.
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Okay, have a motion,
I'll second it.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
We have several since we did a meeting. You want to sign those at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. This is
Old business, Commissioner Engineer Josh Hillman update.
Couple updates, just Moonglow, we did, the mayor and I, sometime in the last month and a half, went and did an inspection with the contractor on Moonglow. We also, Maple Run is moving right along. I know they had some road impacts on Lover's Lane, and they're still yet to patch the trench, but it is anticipated to be patched before paving season's over. So the contractor's trying to get out of the way of any road impacts, and subdivision's moving along. We expect the first section of lots on Maple Run to be available for building on by June.
Any questions for Josh? Moving right along, good deal. New business, resolution number 2025-R-8 is a resolution amending resolution 2025-R-6 and authorizing certain other matters related thereto. You want to explain that, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. So the original resolution you guys approved had a set amount this is related to the fire department new building. Expenses have came in a little bit higher, as you can see in the whereas clauses here. And so this is going to amend that amount from 1.2 up to 1.2, 50, add basically $50,000 to cover those costs. So
Okay, and that's the extent of that, okay? Entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, got a motion, got a second?
A second.
And a second. Any questions, comments?
It's the fees that we discussed that day. We've talked about the Baker Tilly and Bo.
No other questions?
That
All in
extra
favor,
50
say aye.
came, the extra 50 came from what, Jan?
It's from the fees. We did not
We
do
didn't
a
have
bond
those.
on this.
Right?
Because at first, when they came back on the day of our moving, they were saying 1.3. So because the financing will be different than a bond, we didn't need all the counsel that we had thought that added into those fees. Isn't that accurate, Mayor?
Got a motion and a second, any other
That
questions?
will be paid out of cash on hand, or the fees will.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes. Barry, did you have something for new business?
Yeah, new business. I wanted to say before this group, whether we should have a TIF on the summit, which is on North Main, and also the Bellevue Village, which is down south here in town. I don't think either one of those are in the TIF district. I think the summit has about 30 houses, which is, I think, that are duplexes and triplexes. You know, actually.
No, across from Craig Park, is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about right behind David Spann's old house.
Yeah, across from Craig
Oh,
Park
Craig
there.
Park.
Yeah.
I don't think that is in a TIF district. And Bellevue Village, you know where Bellevue Village is?
I don't know where it's supposed to be. Off of Bellevue
I
Drive,
think Ron's Auto, that street there,
off of
which is
Spring
Bellevue.
Street,
At
Bellevue.
the end of that street, down by the interstate, there's, I think there's like 60 houses there. There's quite a few houses going in there.
Well,
So,
they're duplexes or.
yeah, they're triplexes and duplexes, yeah. So, it's not, neither one of those are, and I understand is in the TIF district. And I want to know whether we should organize a TIF for those two things. I know they're not, I checked, I don't think they're in the TIF district, are they? Do you know?
I don't believe so. And
So
It's all right.
Engineer-
It's all right if nobody asks us for any money for either one of those places. But like the lighting out at Moonglow, you know, they come back later and say, hey, can we put streetlights in there? And so we never know.
Yeah, Commissioner or Engineer Hillman makes a good point, though. The property there by Bellevue is owned by a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So that we wouldn't have there's not a tax base to collect necessarily there, so.
So are we allowed just to make up TIFs whenever we want, districts? What's the criteria for them?
Well, I mean, so that'd be a residential, we would want to do commercial. I mean, the biggest thing is going to the financial analysis from Baker Tilly on whether it makes sense or not. So you can create pockets of one, and that would be an example of the new development across from Craig Park that might make some sense to have just that single area there. But you would want to see the financial projections from Baker Tilly to know whether it makes sense or not.
The other problem was, we're not providing infrastructure there. We're just going to the entrance to it. Granted, the four on the main street is going to be there, but all those going in there, we're not providing infrastructure
On Main Street?
on Main Street.
So
It's
is
a private
that,
development.
is that required to designate it as TIF, that we provide infrastructure?
Well, I mean, that, to me, that's what TIF is for, is to cover those costs, those infrastructure costs. So if we're not putting the infrastructure in, I mean, I guess it could be done.
There's also limitations on how and where you can use those funds, so that would be part of what you're talking about. I mean, there's some logistical ways around that, but I mean, if the majority of the time it's to put back into the project, so.
So
or further
typically,
expense,
any funds you get from a TIF district goes back into that district.
or to directly benefit that direct district.
And single-family residential TIFs are gonna be restricted differently than a commercial TIF. So just, if you wanna keep that in mind, if that's what's, I don't know if duplexes end up in the same as a single-family TIF or residential TIF.
But some of these on Bellevue are multi-housing.
The Bellevue is a nonprofit, so
Yeah.
the increment would not be there on Bellevue.
So what's the next
Yeah, so what is,
step, what's the decision?
yeah,
Is it something?
should we or should we not?
Yeah, that's the question.
I don't know that well, and the mayor makes a good point. I mean, as far as the infrastructure being provided, there is no request. So what would be the intended use of the funds and where would you spend them? And then the next part of that is, and it would be, you would need a financial person to, Baker Tilly type to tell you what the expected increment back to you would actually be. Is it even financially, does it make worth to spend the 15,000 or 20,000 on the front end to create the TIF district if that's not going to pay for itself in 15 years or 10 years?
Only thing I was noticing that in the plans, there's no streetlights. They didn't show anything anyhow. There's gonna, if they're gonna go to town, they're gonna be walking in the street, on Main Street. You're gonna put sidewalks in, down through there, or?
Are you talking on Main Street?
Uh-huh.
But see, that's private. We have, I mean,
Main Street's not private,
Main Street is private.
all the way.
The
Yeah,
Main
he's
Street
all the way up
project
there.
he's talking about.
It's up to Craig
It's
Park
not-
and goes all
Yeah,
the
the
way.
project's not.
Right.
But if you're gonna go to town, then you're gonna walk in Main Street. If you're gonna walk to town,
There's a sidewalk there going from on the
is it
West
on the
side.
sidewalk on the, what is it over on
It's
the other
over
side?
on the
west side.
On the other
west side, but
While they're on the.
Yeah, as long as there's not any of our responsibility there,
I mean, that was the thing, because they, there were different criterias that they went that way,
uh,
that, so. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for, having TIF in areas where the city is culpable for all those improvements. And, but this isn't it. These folks are all putting it in themselves.
So
I just noticed that neither one of those are in the TIF district.
Yeah.
So,
True.
So if they're privately owned and they're putting it on, are they required to put streetlights in?
Yeah, it's got to,
So, okay, so since this is privately owned, it's like a private subdivision would be inside, the city's not going inside, we're not clearing their streets for snow, we're not picking up garbage on the inside from house to house. What we're doing is, they were approved, they met engineering standards for a difference, to be developed, but they didn't meet the standards to be a city street. So on that plat, it says, the city will never be responsible for the streets, it will never be responsible, we will never adopt those streets. So even though it's in the city limits, it's not a city street. But, so with that, like you were asking, sidewalks, streetlights, those aren't included as standards that we were looking at to approve it. So they don't have sidewalks through all of it. They don't have streetlights. If they choose to do so, that's up to the developer. And
Tom, I think you had two different points in your comment there. One was about streetlights and items internal to the site, which Carmen's addressed, and the other, I think the comment was coming more about what's on Main Street and illuminating Main Street or providing access points along Main that come into town. And that's more of a city function, which may be a Board of Works function and not a redevelopment function if it's in the existing public right of way. So two different things, but valid point that needs to just be evaluated to see, is there a need for a lighting improvement on there, but not likely a redevelopment commission task. It's a Board of Works task.
And like Barry said, 4 of the duplexes are going to be facing Main Street. So that, I think, would be where Barry's concern about the lighting comes up.
And I'm happy to look at Main Street lighting as well, to make sure we have an adequate amount of light. And if we don't, we can cure that one.
Yeah, I was thinking about the, out by the golf course.
Yeah.
That subdivision, is that private?
Yeah.
That's private, and I know there was a problem with, I think the bridge. It was wanting the city to work, fix that bridge, and I didn't know,
It wasn't the bridge so much as it was some of that area coming up to that bridge. And again, that's all private. And, Mike Guthrie had engineers. This was all done. And they told me that if you change that in any way, it's going to make a huge mess. So we've told them that. They have 3 HOAs out there, 3 different HOAs.
And
So that's all private out there by the golf course?
The duplexes are.
Are we picking up trash out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Picking up trash out there. I'm just.
So I mean, but again, it's not up to us to go into people's yards and correct things that they feel needs to be.
I know.
that's a problem that on this last set of duplexes that we were just referencing, that we were very intentional in the technical review committee to
Yeah.
address things on the plat, because the point you're bringing up is, it's a very real problem that happens where an HOA will own a piece of property and that HOA doesn't, they're not set up to maintain a road or a bridge or a culvert. But over time, it becomes a request on the burden of the city, to be the burden of the city, but never a tax collected to be for that piece specifically. So trying to be very intentional on plats going forward to making sure that we're addressing, understanding that fiscal responsibility lands on the property owner.
So does the city have right of ways down in the street to put water, sewer? I know beside my house, I know that whenever I bought that piece of property, I know there's a 10-foot easement that goes down on both sides of my property. For the city to do whatever they want to do. They want to put stop signs in there, they want whatever they want to do. I know that the city has a right to, for the sewer and the water and everything else. I didn't know whether, so we're not going to do anything about this. The water is there, or we don't have right of ways on both sides of the street.
And that's a good question. I mean, it's been all private. Now, how much of it has? They wanted us to take over the roads.
Huh?
They wanted us to take over the roads.
Yeah.
And I think we've done some of that. I'm not sure we've done all of that. So I need to look into that for you.
Yeah, I know that if you want to put sidewalks down by my house, there's none there now, but if you want to put sidewalks or whatever, you want to put street signs or stop signs or whatever you want to, you got 10 foot on both sides of the street there. The city owns that. I mow it and take care of it, but I know that you have the right of way.
And you pay taxes on it.
Yeah, I pay taxes on it, and I just want to know if we don't have anything to do with that.
You mean in front of your house?
In front of my house and beside my house.
Yeah, you're on the corner. So,
Now, I also.
He's got a utility easement runs back down along
Yeah.
the,
So I just, if we don't have
South
anything
side
to
of
do
his
with
home
that
too.
place, then fine. We ain't got nothing to do with it. It's private and they'll put in whatever they want to put in and we don't have any right of way to put, you're gonna have to put sewers and water and everything else down through there. You know, I just.
you're
Bring it
talking
up.
about Main Street? You're
Huh?
talking about the Main Street
No, I'm talking
project?
about the houses that they're gonna have water and sewer and everything else down through there for all those houses. And it's private.
all private.
You're talking about Main Street.
No, I'm talking about.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them, yeah.
Yeah, I think both of them is,
Well, we're just going,
I'm not sure which project we're talking about.
Yeah.
For the summit on.
Either one of them, yeah.
Okay, so for the summit on Main, like we talked about at the plan commission meeting, all of the lines you're talking about inside the subdivision, the laterals for the water, the sewer, all of that, those will all be private. And then they'll connect to the city main.
So the
Am I
private.
saying that correctly?
they'll have to run it all the way to
Private
Main Street
putting them in?
itself.
Yes.
So the public utility, our utilities as sewer and water and even electric, I believe, all stop at the right of way line. So water meter points, sanitary sewer clean out or manholes, and electric meters will all be in the public right of way of Main Street. And then everything beyond there is private. So each of them will have that whole development will pay one master meter for water, sewer, and electric internal to the development.
And so like what you're saying, each duplex will not have, the city won't have that 10-foot right of way like you do here. That's,
Yeah.
that helps.
We were very specific that we didn't want the city to have liability inside the development where they'll come back later on and ask the city to take it over. Because it was not being built to zoning standards to have the full road right of way to have all those items.
So all of that stuff that's on the private property, do they have to follow the standards that we have set for
Yeah, that's a good question.
type of pipe and size of pipe and whatever else?
They still have to follow state code and state standards for what they install, but the city has no financial responsibility for it.
in other words, we will send building inspectors out there to make sure. it's-
Absolutely.
So, but we're not doing it.
So
So we have to approve.
10 years down the road and they get a problem, they call the city, we just say tough luck.
It's yours.
They have to call a plumber, they have to call an electrician.
All right, gotcha.
And that's on their plat, so if the Mills brothers own it right now, if they choose to sell it on that plat, on their recorded deeds, it is very clear, the language is clear, so. It should, and if, none of us are here in 10 years to remind them that, hey, the city's not taking it, someone should be able to see that pretty quickly. And red flag go up, so.
So it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds to me like it doesn't make any sense to create a TIF out of that.
No, not if we got to spend the money for that specific.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well,
What about,
is that,
what about Bellevue Village?
It's a nonprofit, so
Yeah,
you're
there's
not
no-
gonna be taxed on it.
Yeah, there's nothing there for us.
answer all your questions?
So the city would be responsible for the road that goes into Bellevue?
Only the existing public road right of way that was there on Bellevue. Once you get onto the private property of Route, who's building the structure and infrastructure, that's all theirs to maintain.
That's fine.
We have a sewer line that goes and a water line that go up to the edge of the property and they take it
I take it from there.
So that project is gonna be basically the same as
from same.
the summit.
Right.
We're not,
Yep.
we ran infrastructure to the property and that's it.
Is there a starting date on that? On Bellevue?
I think they were processing a sanitary sewer permit, and last I heard, that was the last thing they were holding up, just waiting on that approval.
Yeah, I spoke.
Yeah, it's been through the pipe.
Okay,
Tom, I had one item I forgot to address in my
Sure.
report, if that was okay.
sure.
The fire station, we've been meeting with GM Development, Greg Marks, over the last 2 months. So I just didn't give an update on that, but their construction crew, fully mobilized. The fire station's fully permitted, site grading's complete. That footer is installed, underground plumbing and electrical's installed, and a stone base for the pad is already in place. The next steps on that were a portion of the work above completed, a little ahead of schedule, so you may not see much going on this week, but in-floor heating subcontractor will begin soon. In-floor heating tubes installed next week, and then floor slab will be installed after that, where we'll have a cure time. So Greg had sent me that update. I just wanted to make sure we gave that update to the redevelopment commission.
All right, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, any other new business anybody wants to bring up?
Going back to Bellevue just for a minute, they did receive that ready money. The city's not gonna have any money invested in that program out there at all, besides what they got from Ready.
Not that I know of.
They give
Josh.
They didn't receive anything.
I don't believe they
They
did apply,
applied.
but I don't believe they were successful. on
Oh, I
that.
thought they were.
No, they didn't get any money, so that's partially why they've been held up. They're moving
Okay.
a little slower, so.
Well, started doing a lot of work out there then. I mean, we done a lot of things already out there, haven't we? Ran the electric back there to it and,
Electric's already there. We may be.
we done a lot of electric upgrades for some reason. I thought you sure they didn't get any ready
I
money?
don't believe they got any ready money, but I could be wrong. The only thing I've heard that we were doing with the city was doing a flow test on the water lines to satisfy that we had adequate flow for them for fire suppression. They were doing all of their own sanitary sewer work, all of their own water work. We just had to confirm we could provide the flow they needed.
That was the big thing right there.
I think you're right. Willie and the electric company did do.
Yeah,
work
the city done a lot of
going
electric
there,
work.
But that will be whenever they.
Already did
apply
that
for
and they're not even
utility
broke
connections,
ground, so.
That's when they'll be charged for that.
Right. Yeah, I know they did. I know we done a lot of work out there for that. But I was under the impression they got some ready money, but I mean, I must be wrong, maybe wrong.
They have different grant funding, so it might be a different stream.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Okay, our next regular meeting will be December 10th at 8:30 a.m.
I gotta get up on my birthday.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, bring cake, it's Marcia's birthday.
Happy birthday.
I thought I was to lay in the bed all night.
No.
You're
thankful you see another year.
Get you a cake or anything.
Well, sure.
Well, it have to be a big cake, 'cause